Welcome back to Crossroads Football Live. On to the Leather Bowl, where one of the oldest rivalries in the state of Texas took place in the leather capital of the world, Yoakum. Coming into tonight's match, Cuero led all-time series 72-35. The Gobblers were the visiting team, but it would be Yoakum who would get stuffed time and time again. All right, we're struggling with that VO, but like I said, it was a big game, big rivalry, but this game would get out of hand early. And I'd be doing that too if I was down quite a bit. The Yoakum Bulldog putting his hands on his face. And the Cuero defense, of course, coming up big, coming in ranked number 5 in the state. But Yoakum having some big time plays, but yet they can't. Cuero's defense is too good, but their offense is also good as they get run out of bounds there. And we talk about rough awakening. Meanwhile, the Gobblers were dominant offensively as well, as he bulldozes his way in for the second score of the first half. Notaro showing off his wheels with a long 25-yard touchdown run, and they had no answer for him or really anybody on the Cuero team. But guess what? He can throw the ball too after he's done celebrating. This long touchdown pass capped off what was nearly a perfect first half, maybe a game for the Cuero Gobblers. The Cuero Gobblers stay undefeated on the year. No, this is not a typo. This is a final score. 75-6 over the Yoakum Bulldogs over a rivalry game. You would think it'd be a little bit closer just because it is a rivalry game. But next week, Cuero will have a test against the Cal Allen Wildcats, number 5 versus number 6. Cuero might be featured in 3 Game of the Weeks because that is a top 10 matchup no one wants to miss. And Yoakum and Calhoun both looking to get their first win of the season. These two teams made playoffs and deep playoffs runs last year, and yet they have not had a win this year. Now, before we get to some more highlights and scores, let's see if we can check in with sports reporter Tanya Chalikian, who is in Edna. Tanya, what do you got for us with that late game? It went late tonight.
Yeah, Gino, it was a close game in the first half with Edna again this year, heading into the half with a lead over Refugio at 14-13. The score, the Bobcats missed their extra point kick right before the half to trail by 1. In the second half, the Bobcats start off with an interception to get a touchdown, and before that, the third quarter ends, they get another touchdown to lead Edna by 2 touchdowns, 28-14. Refugio's defense comes alive after the half as they also get a fumble. It seems everything for Refugio at this point going for them heading into the fourth quarter with the lead. Refugio wasn't letting the Cowboys get anything going in the fourth quarter. The Bobcats, like Coach Herring said earlier in the week, he's trying to run the clock down with their biggest lead of the night. The Bobcats score another touchdown in the fourth to extend their lead to 34-14 as they miss yet another extra point. The Bobcats, however, get the ball back with on downs and yet again try to kill the clock with 5 minutes in the game. Now the Bobcats are still playing with 2 minutes and 15 seconds left, and they are leading 40-14. This game has been really close early on, but I think the Bobcats have it. I can say it's safe to say the Bobcats are going to run away with it. As you guys can tell, my hair earlier was straightened. Now it's not, thanks to the humidity. Scott, can we talk about that later tonight? But after the game, I am going to get an interview with most likely Coach Jason Herring of the Refugio Bobcats, and we will have that tomorrow, during the newscast. Now, the Bobcats, if they win this game, this will be Jason Herring's 200th win as a head coach. That's got to be exciting. Slow start for them early on in the year against the Hitchcock, but this game here tonight against Edna, who is undefeated, if they beat them tonight, this is a huge win for them. All right, that's all I have right now. Gino, back to you.
Thanks, Tanya. And in the last 5 games, Refugio has dominated. Let's head out to Cowboys Memorial Stadium to see what happened in the first quarter. Refugio's offense would come out swinging, and the Edna fans would show up with a big play down the field. Keelan Brown to his tight end, Isaiah Avery. He gets hit right below the legs. What a play for him, and that would be short-lived as the Bobcats would fumble the snap, and a big man named Otis gobbles it up, giving Edna great field position, but they couldn't do anything with it, and yet they would throw another interception by Peyton Bradley, the second turnover for the day. Now this time the Cowboys would take advantage with a run by the 260-pound running back Drayden Ashford, 7-0 Edna. The Cowboys looking to add to its lead, but nope, it's picked off by Chi Whitmore, who would take it all the way down inside the 5-yard line. This time the Bobcats would finally get on the board with Kay Roadhouse as he runs it up the middle. And no, this is not no deja vu alert coming up. Ashford pounding the ball up the middle, spinning his way in for the score. And like Tanya said, that game is still going on. But let's get to some other scores that we have. Like she said, 14-14 or 40-14. Bishop against Refugio next week, and Edna versus Sinton next week. Next up, the St. Joe Flyers, they get a win over the Northland Christian Cougars, winning 40-30. They got a bye next week, and Calhoun, we mentioned them, 10-17. Unfortunate, they lose again. And El Campo gets their first win of the season, 27-14 over a tough Veterans Memorial team. They will host Wharton next week in week 4. Next up, Goliad Tigers. They also get a win over the Cole Cougars. Next, they'll host Jordanton in week 4. And next up, we got the Tidehaven Tigers versus the Palacio Sharks. 42-21, doubling the score. The Sharks win, or excuse me, the Tidehaven Tigers win. The Sharks play Rice, and the Cobras play the Tigers. That's Industrial, the Industrial Cobras. And the Houseville Brahmas, they stay undefeated, 42-14 over Van Vleck Leopards. Piper versus Houseville next week. That should be a good one as well. Next up, we got the Bowling Bulldogs. They just fall to the Industrial Cobras. Cobras doing a great job. They travel to Tidehaven next week. That one should also be a good crossroads game as well. And next up, this will be the last one that we cover. The Shiner Comanches pull it out 22-21 over the Post Pirates, and Shiner heads to East Bernard in a what could be top 10 matchup next week. Now, before we go, I'd like to give a shout out to my boys in Panama City, Florida, who are celebrating a bachelor party. Congratulations, Chuck and Stephanie. Thanks for watching. If you need sports or if you need scores or an update, come to crossroadstoday.com. Get our app. It's free. Good night, Crossroads.